Welcome back once again to another episode of Let's Roll Out. We're in the Audi S7. If you were here last week, you saw where we go through the exterior, the look, the price point of these two vehicles. Today, it's about the drive. We're in the S7, so we'll start here. Thank you for coming back if you've been here before, and if you have not, thank you for coming. My name is Elton Felix. I look forward to always spending my time with you. So shall we? Let's go drive. Now, I did say that we are not comparing engines, but it's very hard to miss. That V8 sends that sound through that muffler in the back, and it's absolutely so intoxicating. But let's forget the engine again, because we're not here to talk about that. The drive of the S7 though, it's really smooth. You don't get any wind noise, and if you did, it might be because it's being muffled by those mufflers in the back. With every touch of the gas, it is very responsive. That 4-liter V8 from the factory, it came in at 450 horsepower, but like I said, it is now at 620. In these seats is where you want to be though. This S7 is not being compared to my M6, but I definitely feel so much more comfort in this compared to my M6. The steering is fantastic, and let's test the brakes. Oh, it definitely bites, and the reaction is really good. Compared to the Audi SQ5 that we drove, you definitely do not feel that softness in pedal feel. It's actually really, really nice. I'm trying my best not to think about what's coming out of those tailpipes. Forgive me, guys. Did I make a mistake? No. And if you choose to stick with that 450 horsepower 4-liter V8, I think you'll be more than good enough. In normal trim, it returns 11.3 liters in combined city and highway driving. I'm smiling because we're going around some really nice corners right now, and the sure-footedness of the all-wheel drive system is always so good. You can see why companies like BMW had to compete by going to an all-wheel drive system. The downshifts are pretty nice too as well. I like it. Sorry guys, it's just so good. We have to get back to the Porsche, but for now, let's get into some of the numbers that are associated with some of the maintenance costs that you will be encountering in your Audi S7. Now, if you have to replace the brakes, you're looking at $512 for just the rotors. If you need the pads, you're looking at $401. For every brake job that is done, you have to buy what's called a spreader kit. That kit alone is $158. Most modern vehicles today comes with cabin filters, and cabin filters will cost you just under $100 at $97.90. Of course, all of these prices are plus taxes. Compared to the Porsche, the air filters that you'll have to do to keep your car purring just so nicely will only cost you $43. Well, most cars do come with xenon headlights, but this Audi doesn't. It comes with LED headlights. If something should ever go wrong with one of the LEDs, you have to replace the whole housing. The whole housing unit will cost you a whopping $5,787. Yeah, just hope that there's no really big stone, or for whatever reason something should go wrong. If you need to do an oil change on this car by yourself, it will cost you $155 just for the filters and the oil. This Audi requires you to have 9 liters of oil. In the suspension, compared to other cars, they might be known as ball joints, and for Audi they're called swivel joints. Now, this is what allows the wheel to be able to move and pivot and turn. If you need to replace those, and over time, all of them will go. For a swivel joint, it will cost you $237. Now, these are just some of the costs that we wanted to get into, but of course, there's always more. If you need more information, leave your questions in the comment section, and we will try our best to get those for you. Now it's time for us to drive a Porsche. (2012) Porsche Panamera. From the time you start driving, there's something that you start to appreciate right away. The fast-acting steering, the seating position. It is low. You do get to see those two humps over the side to remind you that you're in a Porsche. Heritage of the 911. The ride quality is good, and you have a vehicle that seems to have that real dynamic feel to it. Now, we are tossing it back and forth just to feel how the car reacts, and it definitely has a real stable feel to it. The seating position is great. It gives you great visibility over the front and the side, and like I said before, don't worry about the back. It is terrible. Looking out through these rear view mirrors, it does give you good visibility through those two back seats, but we're here to focus on the front. The driving dynamics of a Porsche still remains. It's really, really good. Where you will appreciate this fast-acting steering is at slower speeds. Less input gives you more reaction. Higher speeds give you less reaction, and it works so well. The 22-inch wheels on the outside gives you that kind of control and feel in this 4,012-pound vehicle. The brakes is one thing that I wish it could have reacted a little bit better. It doesn't seem to have the bite of the Audi, but it still does a good enough job to bring this 4,012-pound vehicle to a good enough stop. Let's initiate Sports Plus mode. It allows that engine to respond better to us when we need it. Now is where we get to explore those paddle shifters, pushing it to the left side, giving us the opportunity to shift our gears ourselves. If you watch my channel, you know how much I love shifting my gears. The all-wheel drive gives you that sure-footedness, and in situations like this, you really get to start enjoying your Porsche. The car glides over bumps and it settles down so much faster. We get to see your Porsche at work. You can raise the RPMs, and they try their best to cut down some of that sound from you on the inside, but you still get a nice hum coming back. Yeah, man. The Porsche, it is a spirited car, I can tell you that. I focus more on the spirited side in this vehicle because it's overkill for the Audi S7 if you stack them up to each other. That car is just stupid fast. Once again, if you'd like to see that S7 against my M6, which is more comparable, please leave it in the comment section below. The Porsche Panamera, guys. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Other than terrible blind spots, it's hard to fault the Porsche. Being $29,000 as well, you still get great quality. The materials are still good. The drivability is excellent. And once again, very few of your friends will know what you've paid for this, the Porsche. But we're not done. Now it's time for us to educate you on some of the issues you may face with this 8-year-old Porsche. Let's get into some of the numbers, shall we? And if you have to replace the brake rotors on this vehicle, you're looking at $422 a piece, and this is for the front. Of course, you got to do the brake pads as well and sensors. And the brake pads for the front, $441. Sensors will cost you $60. These prices, of course, do not include taxes here in Canada. For some of our American viewers, we pay a whopping 13% tax on all that we purchase. For the back, you're looking at rotors that are $322 and pads of $338. You need sensors for the back. That will cost you $43.29. An oil change at Porsche will run you $400, and that will be good enough for only 15,000 kilometers. If you should ever need to replace your ball joints for the upper, it's $540, and for the lower, you're looking at $929. Some things to think about. Now, you do get what you pay for, so therefore, when you do replace them, the chances are they will last you for the next 5 years. If you need to get cabin filter for this car, it's $57.63. A new headlight bulb, unlike the Audi, this carries a xenon bulb in the place where that is only an LED. It will run you $321. Now that's about right. Xenon bulbs will last you anywhere between 8 years and up. One of the issues that the Panamera faces is water pump. They do have issues with their water pump, and they are replaced on a regular basis. Now this is based on information received from Porsche, so the chances are they should be correct. If you need to replace the air filters, and this one was a little bit shocking for me, due to the location of where the air filter is, you have to remove the front bumpers. Because of that location as well, some of the screws do get corroded and you can break them. To replace the box, which includes the air filter, you're looking at $360. So you do have some cost there. We tried to cover as much cost as possible for you at home. But if there's something you'd like to know, please leave it in the comment section. We try our best to always answer them for you. Guys, once again, I thank you for joining me on Let's Roll Out. My name is Alton Felix, and each time you choose to spend it with me, I appreciate that. And it's why I always respond to each and every one of your comments. It's my way of saying thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you again soon in our next episode. Have yourself a fantastic day.